Yeah.
Well, welcome. Thank you for coming. My name is Eric Strodoff, and I really appreciate you all being here this evening. Give you a little background on what I do and who I am. I'm a certified therapeutic coach, and what that means is I'm a specialized version of a life coach. The training for that involves neuro-linguistic programming, humanistic neuro-linguistic psychology, and a whole bunch of other big words that go into that. I also am trained as a Reiki master and a master hypnotherapist. I tend to incorporate all of those different things into my work depending on what comes up at any given moment for the client, and it's kind of my greatest strength is to be intuitive and flowing, just go with whatever, as I said. I do have a psychology degree from the University of Minnesota from way back when, which leads in nicely to all the work that I'm doing. And therapeutic coaching, as I said, is a form of life coaching, so I'm working with people that want to either resolve an issue or just take things to the next level, even if they've got a certain amount of success in their business, their personal life, whatever it might be. They're having trouble figuring out how to take that next step and get one more level under their belt, if you will. So I'll help any number of people. I've worked with homeless people, I've worked with corporate executives, I've worked with sociology professors, and anywhere in between, and it's fascinating to work with each and every person because everybody brings something different into the room, and we just go from there. The presentation for tonight is, well, it's not called Welcome, so you can look at that, but it's called the 10 Biggest Roadblocks to Personal Transformation. And when talking about transformation, what I'm talking about is anytime somebody wants to change one or more aspect of their lives to either perceive things differently or just have a greater level of satisfaction, get through an issue, that is considered, in my mind, transformation. And usually it deals with some sort of alignment of values, checking the alignment of your values with your core being, digging into your spirituality, inner wisdom, things like that are usually, if not always, included in a transformational process. Lots of roadblocks that you can run into. The 10 we're going to talk about tonight, as I said, are kind of the biggest or the most common, and of course, whatever yours happens to be at any given moment could be the biggest one for you at that time. They may not be on the list, but they're all valid, and we can work through all of them. Story about some of the work that I do. One of the clients that came to me was having difficulty with time. He was perceiving time as, I forget exactly what words he used, but basically kind of like a flow going by, and he felt like he was literally standing still watching it. It was just absolutely streaming past him. Didn't feel like he could get anything done. Tasks during the day, long-term goals, short-term goals, nothing seemed to really flow very well for him. He was just kind of getting by, he felt, by the seat of his pants on a day-to-day basis. So we worked together, and very quickly what became apparent was the way he perceived time was in conflict with actually doing the things that he wanted to do. Specifically speaking, we all have a reference for where we consider time to be. There's past, present, and future. The ideal situation puts the past, as you would see it, somewhere generally behind you, maybe to one side or the other, but usually where you can't really see it. If you were to open your eyes and look, it's often interpreted as being somewhere behind us. The present, in most beneficial situations, is somewhere right about here, or maybe right in front of your face. And then the future is usually out in front somewhere where you can see it, but not so close that that's all you can think about. It can't be in the now. So we figured out that Steve's alignment for his time perspectives was not anywhere near what was beneficial for him. So we did 4 sessions of work. And after working through that, he got this fantastic image. He actually drew it, put it up on the board for me, and I still have the picture at home. And what came to him when he realized that he could actually have part of this flow and be in it rather than just watch it go by was this wonderful image. And he saw a mountain range in front of him, and this was a very familiar mountain range because we've been talking about it since the first session. And usually his mountain range was a range of mountains that went all, infinitely both directions with no paths to get through. It was this huge, almost insurmountable roadblock, if you will. Only this time when he saw it with a big hole where one of the mountains used to be, and he said, "Eric, I blew up that mountain." I'm like, "Great, tell me more." And he said, "And I'm sitting in the cab of a semi-tractor trailer, and I'm driving, and the road goes right through that gap in the mountains." And I get a chill right now just thinking about it because it's so powerful for him to have that feeling of being in control, number one. And he's got his foot on the gas, so he can determine a little bit how fast he wants to go or how slow he wants to go, and he blew up the mountain and created this path for himself. phenomenal. They're just phenomenal imagery. And I talked to him a couple weeks later, and he said, well, you know, our time's still moving pretty quickly. The difference is I'm able to be in that flow. It's not passing me by. I'm getting things done. I'm moving with it rather than just sitting and observing. So those are the kinds of experiences that I've had with clients, and it's just a lot of fun because, number one, the look on his face when he got that image is, you know, big smile, and just you could see his shoulders drop and relax a little bit. And I get to enjoy all of that with them, and I learn a lot of stuff about myself as we go through the process as well. So that's just a little taste of what I do with clients. And from there, what I'd like to do is, if you would all just stand up for me. We're just going to take some deep breaths. Everybody familiar with belly breathing? Breathing very deep through your nose, in through your nose, out through your mouth, and breathe down into your abdomen. Breathe that air. Expand your stomach rather than your chest. And then blow it out your mouth. Couple of good deep breaths. Good cleansing breaths. Go ahead and do one more. Okay, great. Go ahead and have a seat. Usually you can feel your shoulders kind of just relax a little bit. Settle in. And that's going to prepare you for roadblock number 1. Hopefully. All right, everybody, on 3. Repeat after me. 1, 2, 3. Therapy. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Therapy. There we go. I got all the voices that time. Therapy, by many people, is considered to be a 4-letter word. There's a huge stigma around the word therapy or therapeutic. And as I mentioned earlier, I am a certified therapeutic coach. That gets to be a little sticky when people ask, what do you do? Great example was last year I bought a car, and I was out test driving some vehicles. And anybody that's ever gone to a dealership to test drive a car, you know that often the salesperson is quite chatty, likes to, you know, just kind of keep you interested in them and, you know, how they can kind of work the deal and get it done. So we're driving a car, and when I buy things of that nature, you know, a larger item, I don't really talk much. I drive the car, and I feel it and see how it's going to respond and what type of vehicle it's going to be for me. So we're on 494, and he's over there having a nice conversation. I'm responding minimally, but finally he says, so Eric, what do you do for a living? And I said, I'm a certified therapeutic coach. He literally moved 3 inches closer to his window and immediately started telling me how balanced he felt that he was and how good life was at that time. He just was really happy about it.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
I'm just driving a car. And I said something like that, you know, great, I'm glad to hear it. I'm like, I'm not on the clock, you know, you're not paying me, I'm here to buy a car. So it's really fun to see the reaction when you do something like that. Get the word therapy out there and see what comes with it. And really, therapy is, I mean, anything can be therapeutic, and that's the beauty of it, is you don't have to come and see a coach to do or have or feel therapy and transformational experiences. Pretty much anything that might relax you or might make you have a moment of less stress or ease in whatever it is that you're having trouble with, or maybe just extra joy if you're already having a good day and you get a pleasant surprise that makes you even happier. Those to me are still therapeutic, even though you weren't out to really change anything, it was just part of your life. So let's say you go to the park and you lay in the grass for 20 minutes looking up at the blue sky on a sunny day. If we ever get any of those, you could do that. That can be therapeutic. Calling up a friend and venting about something that wasn't such a great experience for you, that can be therapeutic. Coming to see a coach, obviously that can be therapeutic. There are just so many different things in life that can be therapeutic that people just don't think of using that word for. So really, therapy is not a 4-letter word. It's just a label that's kind of gotten a bad rap, in my opinion. But that's the first one, is asking for help too. Sometimes it's really, you know, somebody says, maybe you need a little therapy. Oh my gosh, watch the people back up on that one. If they said, maybe you just need to go talk to somebody and vent, well, that'd probably be pretty okay. People generally like to vent a certain amount. I know I do occasionally. Ask my wife. She may not like that I do, but I do. Minnesota's own Hubert H. Humphrey said, the greatest healing therapy is friendship and love. If you're in love, maybe you're in therapy too. But therapy is all about desire. If you don't want to change anything, even if you went to a, quote, therapeutic session, you're not going to get very far. And that's okay. If you're in a spot where you don't feel like you want to change, then you don't.